And the last part for that chapter, we're going to look at drug addiction and dopamine. So please pay attention, and I think it's a very interesting section of that chapter. So we do know that dopamine plays a role in the brain and in processes that control movement, the response we have in terms of emotion, and experiences of pleasure as well as pain. There are 5 different kinds of receptors in different parts of the brain. Now, here, oversupply of dopamine is associated with schizophrenia. Undersupply of dopamine results in loss of fine motor control we find in Parkinson's disease. Now, looking at here, dopamine and drug addiction, if you have an ample supply of brain dopamine, well, you have that pleasant feeling. This is the rewarding experience, a natural high. And the role of dopamine in drug addiction is that the more dopamine receptor you have stimulated, the greater the high, which is what people actually look for when they take recreational drugs. So here I highlighted cocaine, alcohol, nicotine. You will be surprised maybe to see that those block reuptake of dopamine from the synapse. And amphetamine, which I should have also put in bold character, accelerate the release of dopamine. So what it means is that if you block the reuptake of dopamine, you have more dopamine that is going to be in my synaptic cleft. And if you accelerate the release of dopamine, again, you have more dopamine that is present at the synaptic cleft. Alcohol, nicotine are also as addictive, and stimulation of dopamine receptor by drugs result in tolerance, meaning that you need more, and that's going to be part of what contributes to addiction. And then I have to also highlight the fact that marijuana also creates an increase in dopamine levels. Now, there's a little bit of some kind of controversy about the use of marijuana for chronic pain relief, so medical marijuana, and there are still some questions about benefits and drawbacks, still debated. Finally, a few words about neuropeptide and pain relief. So you probably have heard of this, morphine, other opium derivative. Well, those are pain-killing substances that are going to act via their own specific brain receptor. And you have here the example of metenkephaline and leuenkephaline. Well, they exert morphine-like suppression of pain. Now, you also need to know that we have natural pain-killing polypeptide. Those are the ones we classify as endorphin. So those are normally naturally released in case we need to not feel the pain to be able to put your body out of a bad situation. And then after, when you are just in a good hands, then the pain will set in. So just a quick review here. The concept map is pretty complex. Just understand the main group that we talked about. I will not go into all the details. I do invite you, whoever, to read very carefully the last section that talks about dopamine and drug addiction.